Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another edition of our real estate backstory. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker at Maximum One Realtor and Realtor Partners.
My name is Richardson, a compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partners.
And so, sorry we missed last week, but I'm kind of out a little bit, or I'm out but not down. So I had my knee replaced coming on 2 weeks now, and so I'm up and sort of running, and so I'm going to try and be part of this today. You know, Ming was going to do it on her own today, but you're going to she talked me into it.
Just a balanced baby, so he's has a lot of proprietary on this, so he wanted to be here.
All right,
there we go.
Anyway, we kind of want to jump into new construction right now, because there, like we are seeing where our builders, what's been happening in the market. It's actually a pretty good time to be looking at new construction again, because interest rates are starting to soften a little bit more, and the builders, there's a little bit of inventory there's some standing inventory out there, and so the builders are offering a lot of different incentives. And so some things that we can do to help our buyers save money when purchasing new construction. So a couple of things. One is buying early into a neighborhood. If we can be early into that neighborhood, that's always going to be a really good thing.
Typically, a same house at the last phase of the neighborhood, I can tell you, runs anywhere from 20,000 up to 50 or more, depending on the neighborhood. Same house.
Yeah. Cutting down the number of upgrades that you have. Everyone loves all the we personally feel that the lighting packages are just outrageously expensive on things like that. They can always add lights later, but anytime that they can kind of hold off on those upgrades, that really does help out a lot. Also, a lot of the builders are offering incentives right now, but guess what?
You have to ask up front.
You don't ask, you don't get.
That's right. So please ask up front what the incentives are. And, if that's not what your buyer needs, you may want to renegotiate the incentive where it goes. Yep. For the builder, it doesn't matter where it goes.
Yep. And then, most of your big builders anyway, they have in-house design services. Partner with those guys. A lot of times they have different upgrade packages. They have different options. And again, a lot of them will not advertise these things to you. You find this out by building relationships, talking to them, engaging with them. Sometimes they'll have, specials and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so those in-house design folks, they're there to partner with you because they want to help sell that house too.
So be flexible on location. So, sometimes you just got to be flexible. If school district is non-negotiable, I get it, then the location does matter. But try to be a little flexible on your location if your client is. We're seeing
where a lot of buyers will go to where new construction is and based on the price point, that kind of stuff.
Correct.
And then know your product, be actively engaged in working new construction. Go out and visit the neighborhoods, talk to the on-site folks, that kind of stuff.
Be kind, because you can attract honey.
Yeah.
Bees with honeys instead of vinegar.
Mm-hmm. And then always be prepared to use the in-house lender. I know that, this is one of those things that for me personally irritates me a good bit, but by the same token, it's one of those about, what's best for my client. In most cases, using the in-house lender is going to be better for my client. They're going to get more in upgrades. They're going to get their earnest money protected, things like that won't happen if I use, my preferred lender, that kind of stuff.
Correct.
And then lastly, we can try and negotiate the sales price, but we're seeing where the builders really, really push back on that. And, the queen of negotiations right here. So
I prefer concession versus the sale price, because at the end of the day, if they discount the sale price, think about it, that means they have to discount the sale price throughout the entire neighborhood. So that's not going to fly with them. So, but let's talk about a holiday gift to buyer.
Boom.
What's going on right now? We have lower mortgage rate. Absolutely.
We do.
So that is a blessing. And once again, we project it come down by the end of the year, but we originally talked beginning year, we were looking at 6%, so pretty close. Not quite there yet, but right. We project the first quarter is going to come down a little bit more as well.
Well, and that being said, expect volatility.
Absolutely.
The Fed is going to announce another what they're doing, this coming Wednesday. I think that it's going to be a slower rise. They overall, a lot of members of the Fed have said that they're looking at overall raising it another point to a point and a quarter total. And so, but I don't think they're going to take a 75 basis point jump again. And if they don't, the market, I feel, will react very positively. But then again, anytime the Fed gets on and just starts talking, you have no idea. It could help, it could hurt, So, we're seeing we're long term, we're looking at the rates starting to trend down, which we really, really do appreciate. On the short term, it's still going to be pretty much like
I see some.
no, that's a good way to be with it. Yeah, yeah. Or yeah, we'll just go with that because my brain's not working. So the core logic, Case-Shiller growth rate has, so this is what nationally property value increases are looking at. And so it is approaching single digits. So it came in at 10.6 for the, year over year. And so you can see why, like we've seen where, and if you look at the graph, you can see where property values are trending down, but that's still year over year. And so we've known that overall values were softening. We're not going to run 20% property value increases year over year. That's not sustainable. And actually 10.6 is not sustainable.
I mean, inflation's not, so, and neither is this rising costs.
Now here in Atlanta, we are still firmly in double digits. So we're at 16.1% year over year. You can kind of see that where we kind of run as opposed to the national indexes and that kind of stuff.
And we're so highly desirable in the South.
Now here, at the same time, CoreLogic came out and they released, where we're currently at. So nationwide, they show us at 10.1% property value appreciation. And however, they're forecasting 4.1% increase in property value.
Are not going down. So a lot of people are asking, hey, is market going to crash? The market is not crashing, y'all. So with this type of projection, we're still in positive trend.
Yep. And so we see property values flattening, but we don't see them. And honestly, we need that. And so this is kind of where we're seeing where the majority of property value increases continue to happen. You see where, out west, California, but here in the South, especially here in the Sun Belt, you can see where that's where we're still seeing really strong property value increases. So Georgia came in like number 6 at 17% overall year over year. So they also released the top markets at risk of property value declines. And guess what's not on that list? Georgia. Anything in Georgia, right?
So Washington and Oregon seems like the hot topic, and Fort Walton and Destin, Florida.
Yeah, Florida and especially out west. So now it's that time of year when everyone starts releasing their forecasts for 2023. And so this is the Realtor.com forecast. And so whereas, Case-Shiller, Core, they were looking at about 4.1% property value increase. Realtor.com is predicting a 5.4% value increase. And so we kind of feel that that's pretty realistic. We expect to be somewhere in that 3 to 5% range for the next year. That's kind of what we kind of agree and look at what's really going on with there. Are looking at total sales flattening out. Here in the Atlanta market. So this is Realtor.com's prediction for the
It's okay for new construction.
No, for the Atlanta market. And so for the Atlanta market is looking at total number of sales being relatively flat, down 0.3%. However, property value increases at 4.7, which is kind of right in line with what we're looking at. Or what we see in the market as well.
Now, Zillow, according to Zillow 2023 house market prediction, Midwest will actually see a little more growth. Sunbelt, we're still strong. So what they see is that buying with friends and non-partner will grow as a percentage of buyers. We're
seeing where more non-traditional families are buying. And so these are just some kind of trends that Zillow see.
Beyonce is buying together, and different things like that. And so versus the traditional
and even friends.
Husband and wife.
So also Zillow is looking at affordability to stabilize and hopefully, and they're leaning towards it improving. And I agree, as interest rates come down, and we see property value increases flattening. that's going to be a much better market for our buyers.
And what's surprising is a surge in first-time landlords. So what happened is these folks that did buy a second home at a phenomenal interest rate, rather than just selling it, they're actually going to become first-time home landlords.
We're seeing a lot more of that going on right now.
So for those that are currently industrial landlord, watch out, because this is going to make an impact on your bottom line to a certain extent.
And then last one is that new construction is going to be driven by multifamily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're still got that demand.
Yeah, we see that in there. So overall, what are the numbers looking like? Median sales prices are still up about 2%. And so these are national numbers here. I'll show you a couple of regional ones. However, the asking price is still running around 4.4. And there's also a delay. You know, when we look at a lot of those national numbers that we were just talking about, that data is 30 to 60 days behind. What we're looking at right here is actually up till last week, you know,
Right.
And so this is much more. And you know, we've been saying like it's going to continue to flatten out, and we're looking at it flattening out. And we're seeing that same kind of thing showing in the, you know, this is a rolling 4-week average based on last week's. So still looking at 4.4% median asking price is still up. That's still much higher than the overall sales price. So we still have a lot of price reductions going on. Pending sales, we know pending sales are down. They're down about 35% from last year.
Right.
And, you know, that's one of those things that, you know,
Usually is inventory.
well, a little bit's inventory. Our biggest driver, though, is interest rates. And as
Correct.
that happens, we're going to see a lot of improvement there. That being said, new listings of homes still down 22%. We're not getting enough listings on the market. Now, the homes that are here, you know, we are currently at 15% year over year, but you can still see that we're still not up over 2020 yet. I mean, we're just now up over 2021, and 2020 was historically low, and 2019 was low. And so we still haven't reached those levels yet.
Correct.
You know, almost a third of our sales are still under contract within 2 weeks. And so,
So if
that's a benchmark. Well,
it's about pricing.
then, you know, that's a benchmark for listing agents. Like it's still about price and condition is what's going to drive it. And we're still seeing sales happen quickly. Nearly 25% of homes are still being sold above final list price. And so, you know, that's continuing we're seeing where the good homes are going on the market and they're flying off.
Absolutely.
Now, nationwide, 6% of listings have price drops. However, here in Georgia, it's much higher. Matter of fact, we're the ninth largest or the ninth biggest.
Drop.
We're number 9 when it.
We're top 10. How's that?
There you go.
Top 10 in price drop. So some of your sellers are having some still unrealistic expectation of what their home value is. And they love to go on Zillow and look at the value, but what they don't realize, Zillow doesn't take an effect of property condition or the neighborhood, because Zillow takes a radius.
Yeah, well, basically 21%, you know, over 1 out of 5 homes are taking a price reduction, which is a really significant number compared to where we even our normal trends, that kind of stuff. Now, this is not an overnight thing. We've been talking about this for months now, that you know, our sellers are a little bit stubborn about that. And on one hand, I understand. But on the other, we want to make sure that we're being realistic about, you know, the market is shifting to a more balanced market. It's not going down, but it is flattening out.
And the buyers are being more particular now with their money. So, you know, they're being very selective versus just instant gratification.
Average home sold for 98% of final list price. And so that is down. We've been seeing that number coming down. But again, this is better news for our buyers on that side of things as well. Our builders are having a hard time listening to us because they keep building big. So you can see that here. Well, I mean, I know this is a tough one here.
Is that they're building big because that's what a lot of folks are working from home anymore. But at the same time, because the value of home are rising, it's not like they don't want the big house, they just can't afford a big house.
Over half of the homes here in Georgia are of new construction are 4 or more bedrooms. And so we're just seeing where there's there's a lot more demand on a little bit smaller homes, that kind of stuff. It helps with the price point.
Pricing.
It is. And so now at the same time, you know, like we are seeing where a lot of our buyers or a lot of our sellers are.
Oh, so these are just an idea of what your remodel is going to bring you. So Return on attic, 75%. At 100,000, you get back 75,000.
That's if you're going to convert the attic into living space. And basically, what reason we wanted to share this with you is a lot of times you'll go and meet with a seller, and they'll be like, "What upgrades should I do? I'm thinking about putting in floor heating, or we want to do this, or I think this a blood red wall would look amazing here," kind of thing. And so we wanted to give you like real number, real data that we're seeing out there. And so adding a new master will bring a 56% return on investment. Full bathroom renovation brings around a 71% return on investment. Installing hardwood floors, however, 118%. That's one of the best things you can do. And by the way, I know that we've seen a lot of LVP and a lot of other products. Guess what is still ruling the roost is hardwoods. So our hardwoods continue to be, the buyers love it, and well, everybody loves it, kind of thing.
Hygienic and they're talking about good quality hardwood, not those engineering where you can't refinish it if it got a scratch or anything like that. So
kitchen upgrades are having about 67% return on investment. And if you're going to convert over basements, which we're seeing a lot more of those because we have so many multifamily homes, that has an 86% return on investment. And so you can see overall the cost of recovery for interior modeling projects. Again, hardwood flooring refinishing is the biggest, and as well as installing hardwood flooring. Those are
insulation upgrade, believe it or not.
Well, everybody's worried about utility bills and that kind of stuff. Closets, Mama likes to have that closet.
Yes, right? We do.
Yes, we do. That kind of stuff. Now, on the exterior out there, roofing is a big one. Roofing and garage doors continue to be some of the big deals out there.
Fiber cement siding.
Well, hardy plank siding is a big deal because we still have a lot of homes that still have the old Louisiana Pacific LP siding, that kind of stuff. But honestly, vinyl siding has also made a huge comeback. The benefit of vinyl siding is you ain't got to paint it. So
but it's so easy to put a ding in that when you do mowing.
That's true. Now,
color of the year.
Now, all the different paint companies came out with their predictions for the colors of the year, and most of them are pretty bold. I'll be honest with you. So, like
raspberry blush.
Viva Magenta, and so we got magentas, raspberries, a lot of dark browns and reds, that kind of stuff. Bear is much more
conservative.
Yeah, and I kind of like I like the blank canvas as kind of it all. And for us in the real estate world, like blank canvas is a really great suggestion because we want our homes to appeal to more people. And so anytime I'm talking to sellers about colors and that kind of stuff, like let your colors come through the furniture, through the pops of the accents and that kind of stuff, but you really want the home to be as blank canvas as you can get when it comes to early doors.
Yep. And if you have magenta in there, there's only a certain color that fits magenta.
Yep. All right, and then it's about time, but LinkedIn will finally let you schedule posts ahead of time or for later, that kind of stuff.
Post.
This is something that on Facebook business pages and even on Instagram you can do it now. But now we can finally be able to schedule posts ahead on LinkedIn. This has been a feature that folks have been looking for a while. A lot of us are so busy; it's hard to post regularly on LinkedIn. And so in the past, you couldn't schedule those. Now you can. Like when you go and post a button, there's a little clock-looking thing up there, and you can schedule it for whenever you want that to roll out. For any of your needs, hit up max1market.com. If you need shirts and those kind of things, you can find all those kind of stuff there. And then this week on training, so tomorrow we have our Christmas party.
In Fayetteville office, please do come and visit us. If you're not an agent of ours, come on.
Yeah,
we're playing white elephant gifts. So bring something that's $20, $25 to participate.
I will not be there. I love y'all, but I'm just not there yet. So Wednesday is going to be Mortgage 101. That's going to be also in Fayetteville. And then on Thursday, my lovely blushing bride here.
The 2023 guard contract changes in our Carrollton office. So please come join me.
Well, now, and understand, Ming's going to be teaching that a lot right now. That's probably, this time of year, the new guard contracts are going to be coming out on January 1. You want to go ahead and know about the changes. Overall, there's not a ton of changes coming on
No,
that.
what I'm going to reiterate too is the midterm changes in 2022, which reflects on 2023 as
Yeah.
well. And some of the language in there, if you are unfamiliar with it, you may not know what you're writing. So come join me.
All right. Well, if we can give you service, please call, text, smoke signals. We will do our absolute best. We love you. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Have a great
happy
week.
day.